Hey everyone, Marsh from Consequence here. We'll be going over Rashok in the upcoming raid. I'd say this is pretty much a patchwork fight, um, and it is pure single target with a rotating of two phases. So let's go over a few things. In the first phase, you will have the boss, and the boss will be moving around the room. What the tank's dragging him. So this positioning here is kind of what I recommend. Um, as you can see here, in Heroic, you want to take out these fire plumes, which I'll show you and talk about in a second, um, out to the edge. In Mythic, there'll be two fire plumes on the ground, and you're going to take out one of them. So in Heroic, you're going to place it wherever. In Mythic, you're going to take out one of the two that the game tells you to. Um, so in Heroic, it's easier to stack them up in an area where you want. So also in this phase, you're going to have a soaking mechanic, and then there's just ground projectiles and whatnot. We could go over that. So the first thing is the Searing Slam. And this is what I was talking about. So it's going to target a current player, and the player is going to have to move, and the boss is going to jump on the player. In Mythic, again, there'll be two areas where you can go, and if you miss one of them, it's basically a raid wipe. In Heroic, you can just place it wherever. Um, Now, the if you look at this raid plan, we're trying to take the Heroic ones to the edge. And I'll show you the videos. Um, this is a mythic mechanic where he just unleashes orbs around the room. Don't need to worry about that for Heroic. Um, let's just take a look at the video real quick so I can show you. So this positioning is something that we don't do anymore. This is a Heroic testing. So normally we'd have the boss like right here. But what we were trying to do in Heroic is, and the reason we do that is because of the Mythic mechanic. Because the Mythic mechanic requires you to go into the middle and clear stacks. So in theory, you could tank it like this in Heroic if you want, but if you're trying to do it in Mythic, it might be best practice to tank it over here. But you can see that I marked a moon. This is not me, so you don't see the markers going down. But I marked the moon. This is the group soak. This soak in Mythic requires you to clear your stacks into the middle, but you see here these just fall off naturally. And then again, I moved the marker. So the marker was moved, and I'm basically telling people where to drop the mechanic. These are the fire swirls that go out that need to be dodged. There's a lot more in Mythic. These are soaks. One person each ideally. It will do a chunk of damage, as you can see here. It doesn't do that much in Heroic, but they chunk pretty hard in Mythic. Here's the next one. So you're going to see he's going to go out to Moon. One thing to note is, and we can look at this in slow motion. In Heroic, these won't kill you. So there's one coming through here, and this guy just dropped. If he runs out and runs in the path of one that's coming out of this one, he's going to get double ticked and die. If he runs this way or towards another one, it's much easier to do that in Mythic to run towards another one. You're going to risk just getting bombarded. So making sure when you come out, like he came out pretty smart there. He came out towards the boss and not towards, or not on the line of the things coming out. But it's something to think about. So there's a group soak. And again, you see me moving the marker. So the marker was moved. Also notice that everyone's in for AoE healing. Yep, he's going to go out. Doesn't matter where he really goes. Close to the marker is good. And see how we've stacked them all here? And this is a frontal cone. This is going to happen. See how he has energy here? Once he hits 100 energy, he's going to phase. However, the tanks need to drag him into the middle to cause him to phase. So you see here the tanks are dragging him to mid. And basically what we did is, and yes, you could milk it a few more seconds there. And in Mythic, you probably will have to. But for Heroic, once he does the frontal, we just drag him in the middle. It's okay. And now we're just burning through here. We're trying to stack up for AoE healing. As you can see, all these AoE circles. Things like APT are really good here. You're definitely going to need some AoE CDs and like a CD assignment order to get through. And now we'll rotate through this 2 or 3 times, and that'll be it. It's the same mechanics every single time. The damage will ramp up between the phases, but there's a knock at the end. But the core mechanics are the same. So you can see we drag him over here, and I already put a marker down, and this guy goes right to it. So again, in Mythic, you're going to want to tank him here. In Heroic, it might actually just be better to tank him closer to the wall, since you don't have to do anything in the middle, because now it's like a shorter run distance. But that's up to you. Um, so we talked about all these mechanics. The burst of damage knocks you back. Yeah, I mean, that's really about everything. Very, very straightforward boss. Pure single target. In Heroic, just get the soaks, drop in good locations, and dodge. And make sure your healers have healing CDs set up for soaks and intermission, even if it's like minor CDs, because you're trying to, it can combo you out very, very quickly. But that's everything I have. Good luck on Prague, and talk about the next boss soon. Peace out.